There's a grouping capability among the many features of pivot tables in Excel that works very well when working with date data. In this worksheet called Grouping, we're seeing a pivot table that's based on data in the Creating worksheet. We want to change this and analyze the data by date. Sales by date by region. We'll uncheck the box or product, click the box for date, and this will appear in the rows area. With date data, we just need to right-click on it and choose Group to open up some options for possibly grouping this by month, or quarters, or years, or maybe all three. Click this by months and see what happens. We get a compact list of data grouped by month. The source data represents 2 years, so we're looking at January totals for 2 separate years. So that happens very quickly. We get totals by month. It's quite consistent here, but we have some highs and lows and same total, 7997. We'll right-click again on one of the monthly entries, choose Group again, and this time choose Corners and Years. Click OK. Here's our 2010 data. We have the data broken up by year, by quarter, month, and similar for 2011. In the Pivot Tables field list, in the row area, all 3 fields are represented. The original source data had a field called Date, but it is a little misleading. So let's click the word Date and type Month. It also made a change to the Pivot Table field list, Month, but did not change the source data. The original source data contains a date field, and looking at this information for display reasons or printing reasons, we might want to simplify it a bit, but maybe we don't want to see the months at the moment. We just want to see a quarter breakup by year. We could remove the month field from rows or just drag it into the filters area. So now our pivot table is simplified. What if we flip the order of years and quarters? I shall drag the year field below quarters, and that gives us the option of comparing 2 quarters together. Here are the first quarters side by side, and sometimes we want to see the data that way. When manipulating these fields, we may want to show the months and years together, not quarters, and then consider changing the order. What I'm trying to emphasize is that you want to experiment with the data at times. Nothing you do here with the pivot table alters or threatens the original data. In the current display, you might say that these subtotals are a bit unnecessary. Let's go to the Design tab in the ribbon. Subtotals do not show subtotals. Also, when we have 3 fields involved, I'll bring quarters back and put month below quarters. We see lots of minuses, the collapse symbols in front of the entries for 2 of the outer fields. If I collapse quarter 2 to 1 row, the other quarter 2 for the next year also collapses. For now, we might just focus on the detail within quarter 4. So collapse quarter 1, which will happen in both years, and quarter 3, and only focus on the quarter 4 entries for the 2 years. So another set of tools to make this display how you want it. We'll collapse the 2010 detail because we don't want it right now. Control Z, which is undo, can also be very helpful when working with pivot tables. Press Ctrl Z repeatedly to return to previous displays. Another tool, we click May, slide the mouse to left and it becomes a black arrow. Click May and the other May is also highlighted. If we want to emphasize that month, go to the Home tab and change it to yellow or blue, etc. If we manipulate the data, we might even bring region to the columns area, put it in the row area, and put years and columns and manipulate the data that way. So we're trying to get to the best display. This ability to manipulate the data by date is very helpful. Analyzing the data by date using the grouping capability will also work if you're working with times of day. If we had time of day sale here, that would be appropriate, and if we right-click on entry and choose group, we can analyze data by hours of the day. We can group by days every 14 days. We might have a sales meeting every 14 days, or maybe group your sales information in 2-week increments. You could simply group this by days and not months, quarters, or years. So this feature gives you many capabilities, especially the ability to group data by date.